G'day, welcome to Goldson's Gold Making Weekly Recap, The War Within Episode 4. So, in the last week, I'm up 3,052,780 gold. My total gold earned since the launch of the War Within expansion is currently 0. I have recorded 309 hours of in-game time, which gives me an average loss of 29k per hour. I obtained all the Kedge books for my army. I hit Renown 12 with Dornagal, which was nice. And I actually crafted some items for profit this time around. But all in all, I had a pretty full-on week as usual. Stay tuned for a more in-depth review on how I tracked my gold and how I spent my time in the game after the intro. G'day, truth seekers and confused admirers. Goldson here, showing you a different mindset regarding virtual wealth creation. By setting goals, minimizing the distractions, the power of being focused and consistent. My goal for the War Within is to obtain 100 million gold. Join me on my adventure where I can impart knowledge and important life lessons that has made me the person who I am today. Yo, sick. Alright, cool. Intro out of the way. So that's the first thing off the agenda. So you can see here, we got like a little bit of an agenda, what we're going to go through in the video. And we do this once a week. And if you're new to the channel or you're following the journey, right, we'll just quickly go through it. So I'll go through a bit of a quick intro for those who just want it quick. I'll go through what I crafted. I review the goals from the previous week. Any extra shit that I get up to. I go through the proof of gold section, which is probably the most important one, really, metric that we try and measure. I'll show you my long-term goals, and then I'll show you the progression towards those long-term goals. I'll give new goals for the next week, so like the following week after the reset. And then in conclusion, I just have a little bit of a chin wag, talk about shit in the week, you know, any sort of hot topics, I guess. But let's jump into it, eh? Okay, so you can see I crafted a few less items than last week. This week, because I've got all the tailors set up, you know, reasonably well, not ideal. My tailors aren't, like, as you probably might know, that all my tailors have bugger all multi-craft, literally. I've like the first 60 points I put into bolt crafting. I realized I was like, oh, people go on multi-craft because that's where you're getting your profit from, because of the, you know, how the stats work and that, and actually multi-craft's kind of broken, really. Like the amount that it can bring your cost down is quite a lot. So, but I'm still profitable crafting linings. So I'm well, probably not so much now, but at the start of the week I started doing the Dawn Thread linings because apparently they dropped the recipe to get this stuff dropping from the delves a shitload, and then I ended up buying a bunch of them. I started buying them at 5k, then 3k, then 2k. Now they're like 200, 100 gold each. So I'm like, fuck it. But like now with the mass crafting and people getting better and better, these Dawn Thread linings aren't really profitable now to use with concentration. They're just being mass crafted. And I don't think they're as popular as the Dusk Thread lining, which is the recipe that dropped from the raid, which opened last week too. So that's been interesting to watch the prices of the recipes go up and down. And I think so much down, you know, like I think Zanzibar bought his for 2 million and now they're like 100, but he made his gold back. I was watching him on stream, just hanging out there. Maybe one day I can get my stream on. I've got to fucking look at the viability of whether we're going to stay in this place or we're going to move. I'm not sure. If we stay, I might as well invest in a Starlink, and if we stay, that means we'll get better internet, then I can stream. And shout out to the people joining my Twitch, Goldson_TV on Twitch. There's about 30 of you signed up already in anticipation, so that's pretty cool to see. So, and you know, if that number keeps rising, then I'm going to be jumping on the Starlink and seeing if we get some streams happening. I reckon with the new generation Starlinks and the satellites, I think the connection's just going to get better and better over time. So definitely going to be doing something like that. Now, what else did I craft? I crafted the Crystalline Radiance chest enchant, and I crafted some weapon enchants too. So I made 10 of these. So I need to scale up my enchant game, mate. True shit. But not right now. Maybe not this week. Maybe the following week I'll start setting up some more enchanters to bust out some more enchants. Because enchants are always going to be a good commodity to deal with on a ongoing basis. Because everyone needs, like, once everyone's geared up, what do people do? They get enchants and gems and stuff like that, consumables. So it makes sense to focus on that market eventually. What else I got? Spell threads. So you can see here I made a shitload of these throughout the week, and just leveling up my tailors, doing the crafted patron orders, and then whatever I do the patron, focusing priority on the patron orders, and then whatever's left over, like my concentration, I'll be crafting these spell threads. So I'm definitely going to be making some more of these. Yeah. Okay, let's. Well, I did have a look at Craft Sim for the first time. That was pretty cool. Well, I haven't used it since the first month of Dragonflight when it first came out. It wasn't even like viable back then, but now that he's put a bit of effort into it and time, Craft Sim's pretty cool, man. I like it. I gave him a donation, PayPal, to Florian. Thanks, Florian. I would give you some more, mate. Times are tough, eh? Yeah, let's go into the goal review. All right, so I wanted to obtain all the Kedge knowledge books on 46 olds, and I did that. So in total, I've done that 20-minute route to get the 1180 Kedge to get the 2 knowledge books on 92 alts now. So now that it's out of the way, it's done now, so I don't have to worry about it anymore. And then I obtain more knowledge from the patron orders, which is true. Do that every week until the end of the expansion, really. Well, I guess I'll do the knowledge points every week until I get max knowledge and then max weapons. Oh, not weapons, like the tools and accessories, all blue rank 5. I think that's a long-term goal, an expensive one at that. I still haven't figured out whether I'm going to do rank 4, 5 or 3. I don't know. I've got to do the math on it and see how much it's actually going to cost, and if that cost is worth it. I think long-term it will be worth it, but there's no rush on it. What else I get up to? I crafted something with spare concentration. Yeah, I made some spell threads and some linings and some enchants. Not as much as I'd hope, but I'm juggling a few things at the same time throughout the week. And I obtained Renown 12, and I purchased the knowledge books again. So this week I had a massive boost to my knowledge points. So you'll see that in the progression section of this video, and you can see how far along I am towards that goal of getting all those knowledge points, and that's going to be a good one to watch. So we'll just hang in there, we'll keep going. All right, so extra activities, let's have a look. So what else did I get up to? I got up to some shenanigans. I did actually, yeah, I go through the world quests and all that shit on my main, and completed I did some tier 6 delves. Man, they're hard, dude. I did it at the start of the week too, when like the tuning was fucked up, and like on the tier 6, like it's slow to kill the bosses, and like the mechanics, if you get hit by like one getting hit by 2 was a definite insta death, but if I get hit by one thing, I was like, fuck, my health gets chunked big time. So like it took me a few goes to get like completed tier 6, but then it was actually quite challenging. I normally I just brain dead and just overgear shit, but like with the delves, it actually gets you a bit toey, so you gotta like have your wits on you. So I do enjoy that kind of solo challenge. I do like that, and the fact that you can get gear from it too, and all sorts of shit. What else I do? I bought I bought the materials, and I crafted all my own profession gear and the enchants along with that, just to save a bit of gold. Because when you're gearing out 92 alts with 6 tools and accessories each, and then like 184 enchants as well, and I put all ingenuity enchants rank 2 and all rank 5 green profession tools. So all my alts, all my alchemy and tailoring alts are all set up there with the green profession tools. So that took a little bit of time, but now that it's done, I don't have to really do anything for a while until I start upgrading it to the rare tools, which is going to take time for sure. I'm not prioritizing the blue tools at all. I'm prioritizing the knowledge books. Once the knowledge books are all consumed and I got nothing else to spend my AA on, Artisan's Acuity, then I'll start doing that. But I'm thinking about it. If I do choose the rank 5 option of the tools and accessories, I have to use rank 3 mats plus concentration. I'm pretty sure you got to use concentration. If you fully maxed out and you're using rank 3 materials, do you need to use concentration? If you know, let me know in the comments down below, please, because I've got to figure out whether I'll have to have one main profession do or 2 guys making weapons and shit. Like, because if I have to use concentration, that's going to take a long time to get all my alts set up with blue tools and shit, especially if only one dude's doing it. And I don't want to use the crafting order system, because that's going to cost me a shit ton I'd rather try and craft it all myself. Like, if you're not sure, or I haven't really talked about it yet, but my 4 main profession guys, the ones that don't change, I've set them all up to like make the tools at max rank for all my alt army. So anticipation of me getting to that step. So yeah, please let me know in the comments below if we can guarantee that shit, because that'll be cool. Then I'll craft it once. I don't want to muck around with recrafting and shit. It's just going to cost more money, right? All right, so proof of gold time. So this section we're going to go through and look at the proof of gold. Fuck yeah, mate. Proof of gold time. So let's get into it. Log into Goldson on the first account, and then we're going to go through, or we're going to tally up how much gold we got, how much time we played. You know, the same thing we do every fucking week, because we want the data. Well, I do anyway. And it's good to do it every once a week to show, you know, over time your progression. All right, so what do we want first? Well, first things first, we'll go to the guild bank. Guild banks, I was spending a bit of stuff in the guild bank just out of pure convenience. Let's check how much is in there. All right, so we got 854 488, 854 488. All right. So if you can see here, last week we had 6.9 million. We went down. We started at 19 and we spent what, 13 mil, something like that. But let's see if we're profitable this week. Hope so. Fuck. For my sake, and spending too much money, man. But looking at this trend, it looks like we're losing money. Like we lost 4 million, then 2 million. So hopefully this week we can bring the balance back up to surplus. All right, so war bank next. All right, so we'll go to the war bank. Here we are. How's that? So war banks 4347. 4347 017. 017. All right, it's looking promising. We're at 5.2. All right, so how much is on this account? So we go to Altaholic and we scroll down to the bottom and we'll get 2 things. We'll get our gold and we'll get the time played. So the gold is 4297. 4297. 510. 510. All right, so we're definitely up this week, which is good. Now, what do we want next? The time. What have we played? 394 days, 3 hours, 56 minutes. 394. Oh, fuck, I've forgotten already. 3 hours, 56 minutes. Alrighty. Now we need the second account. So I guess we can log off this account and then we'll log into the second account. So we got see these guys are a bit coordinated. They got the bloody pirate gear on from what do you call? So these guys are all cool Tyrian except for this guy. He's a drainer. We'll log in. I do like the cool Tyrian pirate aspect of gold making. It's more of a pirate than a goblin. I like pirates, you know, with the plunder and shit like that. What else? I'm having my second coffee for the day. Usually I do this a bit earlier, but because I've been doing Patreon orders this morning, trying to get my data for the weekly recap. Fuck man, I've smashed through a fair bit of knowledge. Righto, Altaholic again. Scroll down. All right, so what's this? 460 264. 460 264. All right, cool. So we're definitely up. We'll do the time now. Not that one. This one. 30 days, 37 minutes. Okay. All right. So we've put in every week we put in our fucking time played across 2 accounts. So we do this because we're trying to get an accurate gold per hour, you know, for the time played, because that really, at the end of the day, that's the only way properly to accurately track your gold per hour for time spent. And if you see here, I've played 220 hours since the launch, you know, or since the 20th of August. So as you know, the launch happened on the 22nd, so really 2 days. But let's have a look. So if we drag this down here from the balance, we'll get our sum. So we're at 9.959, and let's see how much gold we made or lost. Now we're definitely up. So we're up 3,052,000 since last week's proof of gold. So that's good, because we started making some sales. The first 2 weeks or so I was just setting up all my alts and that, but now that we've got them mostly set up, we can fucking churn through a bit of items for sale and get some revenue back on the table, which is good. 3 million in the week's not bad, considering I was spending a lot too, and a lot of time. I'm not fully focused on gold at the moment. Obviously, when all my alts roaring, or we'll get that money printer going, eh? Because we are going to 100 million, not for sure. I ain't stopping. All right, let's see how many hours we've had. Ooh, another, probably the biggest week so far. 89 hours. Fuck. That's how many? 89 hours. What is that? If we just grab, we'd sum up this 4 weeks. So 308 hours divided by 4, 77 hours a week. So divide that by 7. I'm averaging 11 hours a day playing this game. Oh well. I used to work 12-hour shifts at my other job and I didn't really complain about that. Well, I kind of did when I used to work 12-hour shifts, but that's all I did. I just worked. I eat, sleep, worked, paid my taxes, extortionate amount of taxes, and that was it. I did that for decades, man. So it's good being able to put that same amount of time into a video game is pretty unreal. I understand my circumstances are different, but let's continue. We've got here gold per hour. So I guess we made 34k an hour. That's not bad. Which, if you see up the top here, it gives our total gold earned is we're down 9 million. So we're still in deficit, which is a fancy word for saying we're not profitable. And you hear that in the government. They're, we got to bring the budget back from deficit to surplus and all this shit. Like, deficit just means we're negative from zero, and surplus means we're above zero. So really, if we if we do good next week, then this number's going to keep going up towards zero. So there will come a point where we're past the 19 million that we started with, and then we're essentially a profitable business at that point, because like any sort of business at the start, depending on how well funded you are. Like if I wasn't funded, I would have gone bankrupt. So having a fair amount of capital is really good with any business. If you try and start a business with like no money and times get tough, you're fucking bankrupt. See you later. But if you've got money to fund it, you're doing all right. So that's the proof of gold. We're going to head back to the weekly recap now. So yeah, future me will take it from there. We're back. All right. I hope you enjoy that segment. I do talk a bit of extra shit in there and mucking around, but the whole concept is to like write down over time like your progression, because really if you don't do that, then you're just YOLOing it. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I do this in the game because it's easier to do it in the game, because most people are passionate about their game and their progression more than real life. You know what I'm saying? But like if you can set goals and then plan your way towards that goal through progression and like checking out, like just so you know where you're going, you can easily transfer those skills into real life and then gamify your life, really, which is what I've done, and that's allowed me to sit here and talk shit all day and play computer. But I know it's a hard concept to try and teach people, is how to set goals and achieve them, because if everyone is got the I want now, like I want to get rich quick, they're all into that. I just want it now. I want it now. They don't want to do it long term. They don't want to get better long term. They just want it now. Instant mindset as opposed to delayed gratification mindset, So hopefully if you watch my videos now and then, and hopefully over time I can convince you to change your ways too, because that's how you achieve shit. All right, so long-term goals. these are it. So get all 120 tunes to level 80. That's a big long-term goal. I'm going to get there eventually. Not sure how long it's going to take. I reckon it'll take 4 or 5 months into the expansion to get it. I don't know. It says it's at the top of the list, but really it's at the bottom. I've changed my 92 tailors from 340 knowledge points back to 310. I realize I don't really need to have extra 30 points on each in spell threads to make spell threads. So I've minus that from 340 back to 310. Alchemists haven't really changed, but I'm pretty sure once I hit 230, which is the thaumaturgy build, and depending on the prices of shit, like if flasks seem to be the more profitable one now for using concentration with rank 2 mats, I could just keep going. So I'm going to get to this stage first, and then once we reach these thresholds, then we'll see what the next lot is. Like if it's better to do flasks long term, or is it better to stay with transmuting every day? Only time will tell. I'm pretty sure everyone's given up on alchemy, thermatology, and then they're all switching over to the concentration rank 2 mats build for the flask. It makes total sense. You know, you're always chasing the whatever gives you the highest return. Why wouldn't you? At this point, I'm just following my goals, because I know if I do it and everyone else is switching and giving up, then I've got the advantage if anything changes, right? Like you always account for variable change in life, and this is how I'm doing it in the game. I'm going to continue to do my thermatology build, which will allow me to convert transmutagen or rank 1 materials into rank 3 using concentration, depending on the prices of rank 1 and 2 materials. If rank 1 and rank 2 materials are similar in price, it makes sense to use rank 2 materials, because that saves a lot of concentration. But the way I've calculated it, fully built, I can just use transmutagen and it only costs me like 300 concentration a day. If I do flasks and shit, might need more. So we'll see what happens. All right, so let's have a look at the progression towards the long-term goals. Last week, we were at 26%. This week we're at 39%. I've been busy because I've been doing stuff with all my alts. I'm slowly chipping away at this progression, so nearly at 50%. And hopefully we can get there quicker than anything. Well, let's see what the benefits of getting to level 80 are on all my characters. So I think the benefits would be that you can start getting weekly vaults. I guess the weekly vault is an easy way to get high level gear efficiently. If you want to gear your characters over time. I don't know, we'll see. My biggest hope is in the next patch, which will be season 2 11.1, the Rootlands, what do you call it, Rootlands patch zone, I guess. My biggest hope is that me continuing on with the alchemy thaumaturgy transmutation build, they bring out a new sort of like a Dracothus 2.0 style recipe that requires you to be level 80, like they did in the Zaralat Caverns with Dracothus. But if you remember in Dragonflight, as soon as we knew what we had to do on the PTR, I was just aggressively leveling up all my alts to level 80 and then going through and then started making Dracothus. But this time, if it does happen, I'll be ready. I'll hit the ground running essentially, and I might be first to market with the alt army because I'm not pivoting. But that's a massive gamble, because if it doesn't happen, then it doesn't happen. Or really, I've just, at least I got something to fall back onto, and that's like, you know, transmuting and shuffling materials and shit like that. But yeah, that's my biggest hope. And my biggest hope, well, let's have a look. You can see here on my 92 tailors, I've gone from 29 to 41%, nearly 42%. So because I got renown, I had the renown and the Kej books and all that, like it was a big, massive boost. So next week, you won't see me at 50%, probably not. Don't think it's going to happen. But if every week we can increase our percentages, then eventually we're going to get to 100%, right? So as long as you can see like an incremental increase in change over time, so in our case, it's weekly. So I'm looking at this and go, okay, every week I'm increasing. That means our trajectory is upwards, so that means we're good. If you're not doing knowledge points, your trajectory is going down, because if you're not keeping up with the knowledge points, over time you're not going to become profitable, you know. So you won't be able to compete on price unless you're literally farming your own materials. But yeah, that's my opinion on it. But yeah, we're chipping away slowly. I haven't made any gold to 100 million because I haven't broken even on my gold at the moment. And once I break even and I start making gold, that's when we start making this number. Then we'll see the bottom number. So it might be a couple of months until we break even on what we've invested in so far. But yeah, all right, so we got new goals. All right, new goals. Okay, so new goals, you might know I kept the knowledge points via patron orders the same. Craft something profitable using spare concentration. That's going to be a staple goal for every week, really, until we've got everything. I want to complete time walking. So as you might know, tomorrow after reset is time walking, the Burning Crusade. I'm pretty sure you have to be above level 30. So if you're leveling up earthen, get it up to plus 30 so you can do the bloody time walking, because you'll be able to, I reckon if you smash it, just doing time walking dungeons is much quicker than leveling, in my opinion, and a bit more fun because you get gear along the way, especially when you're up in the 70s, 70 to 80 doing time walking. You're going to get dungeon gear, which is going to be higher level than anything. So I'm going to do that I'm going to complete one dungeon on each of my 120 toons. So that's 120 time walking dungeons in the week. Let's see if we can do it. So I'm going to get the quest, and if you know anything about time walking, if you do one dungeon, you can get the quest to get 500 time warp badges, and then you sort of got to go to Shadowrath City through the portal room, and then go to Shadowrath because it's time walking for TBC. You go to Shadowrath City and you hand in the to get the badges. And if I do one on each turn, that's like what, 60k time walk badges minimum. I've got a bunch of time walking badges already, and because you can like transfer it to one character or whatever, apparently I've been told that you can convert those time warp badges into gold, or you can somehow. I haven't really looked into it at all. I just got told. So in my mind, I'm thinking, well, I might as well grind out these time walk badges, because I'm if I can get some gold for it, that's a plus. If I get some levels, that's contributing towards my goal, and I might get some gear. And the most important thing is that it's efficient, because all my ults are fully rested, like with 150, 300% rested experience. Flying through these dungeons is going to be nuts. And like the queue times are going to be lower, so it'll be like insta queue, especially if I'm going to be tanking. Like I'll heal and tank on my ults that can nav it, because I can increase the time. But yeah, that's pretty much the new goals for next week. Conclusion, yeah, I'm feeling I should be burnt out by now, but I'm not, because I'm so focused on my goal. I'm not really burnt out. Like I'm feeling the pinch, that's for sure. The amount of hours and time I put in already seems like a lot. Like what was I averaging, like 11 hours a day playing this game, like in game. That's in game time. That's not including like making videos and fucking all sorts of shit. But I've got the time. Why not? I try and take advantage of it, because really, like, I treat this as like a business. Like, you're only going to get out what you're going to put in, type thing. Like if you same with like a job, I guess. Like if you rock up and you just do the bare minimum and go home, clock in, clock out, like the rest of us. Yeah, that's okay, but I'll do that. And when I'm at home, you can either choose to go, oh, I worked 8-hour shift, I'm just going to fucking play my game, or like, you're just going to turn off, really. But what I do is I don't turn off. Like, I start learning and studying, how do I get out of this shithole, man? How do I stop being a wage slave, So that, and like, even though you might have limited time after work, I learned all this. I learned how to be financially independent and learn finance and all that shit as a tradesman working 12-hour shifts. Like, fuck, how did it took a few years, but I ended up learning how to do it, and like how it all works, gamified it. And then once you know it's like any game, once you realize the rules of the game, whether it's World of Warcraft or reality, you know how to play. But like when you don't know the rules and you just like right now, if I asked majority of the people watching, or what's your retirement look like what's your superannuation, 401k, all that kind of shit, like most people go, I don't know. And in Australia, people have multiple superannuation accounts, and they don't know, they just get slapped with premiums, they're paying insurance that they don't need, just getting sconed, man, because they haven't done any work. They haven't had the time to fucking look into it at all. They just go, oh, I don't know, mate. But the weird thing is, they'll spend fucking hours and hours playing video games and watching shit on their phone and crap like that. But they'll like when I was 18 years old, man, and I was a apprentice tradesman, or apprentice tradie, I guess. One of the old fellas there, he was like 60 odd, 65, 68 years old. He was like the oldest guy on the site, and he liked me, and he always given me tips and shit. And he said, mate, people spend their whole lives learning how to learn a trade. They spend 4 to 8 years learning how to be a doctor and a surgeon or whatever. I said, yeah. And then he said, but they won't spend a day learning about money. And at the time, 18 years old, I was like, yeah, that's fair enough. And what he was trying to tell me is that I need to start looking into this. And it took me 10 years after him saying that, 10 years for me to fucking snap out of it and start learning about it. So I was 28 years old before I started learning about how the money system works. And I tell you, I was fucking shocked how ignorant I was, how naive I was. And until you snap out of it yourself, because it'll come, the only thing that's stopping you from doing it is the comfort that you're in now. Because once that comfort's finished, and the money's dried up and you don't know what the fuck's going on, only then that's when you'll start looking for shit. But there's a saying that the teacher appears when the student is ready. And I think you just need to just ready yourself for it, that's all. But I've been talking too much shit. Yeah, that's the end of the weekly recap. Thanks for watching. Hope you have fun out there. Get some fucking dungeons, level up, make some gold, do whatever you need to do. But just have a think about what I just said, and yeah. I'll see you next week for the weekly recap. And oh yeah, fuck, I nearly forgot. Wednesday I'm gonna make a video on my X specifically for my weight loss goals. And it's the same thing. So Tuesday will be the weekly recap for the game, and then Wednesday will be the weekly recap for my weight loss and health improvement type thing. So I'm adding more shit to my plate, so to speak, in terms of work, but I want to show you that over time that you can lose weight, get better health, increase your happiness, and increase your wealth. So it's health, wealth, and happiness. Those three things, like the happiness is my game, the wealth is the finance part of your life, being financially independent, and the healthiness is obviously your body. But yeah, just want to, if you're struggling to lose weight or you don't know where to start, go check that out on my X. I'm not going to put it on here because it's going to fuck up the algorithm. But yeah, go ahead and do that, and I'll see you tomorrow or whenever I publish another video. Thanks, mate. Have a good one. I'll see you later. Alrighty, that's it for the weekly recap. Cheers for sticking to the end. Hope you got something from it. Want more updates? Follow us on X at Goldson_TV. It's all about the journey, and remember, slow and steady always wins the race.